All right, let's talk about Vivo's brand new operating system. OriginOS 6 is here. It's rolling out to phones right now. So today we're going to break down exactly what this update means for you and your phone and figure out if this is something you should actually be excited about. Let's dive in. And this is always the big question, isn't it? With any new software update, you're wondering, is this a real game changer that I need to download immediately? Or is it just, a fresh coat of paint? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. Okay, so Vivo is basically making three big promises here. They're saying OriginOS 6 is going to be smoother, smarter, and cleaner. We're going to use those three words as our guide to see if they actually pulled it off. And we're going to start with cleaner. First impressions are everything, right? And the very first thing you'll notice with OriginOS 6 is the look. It's a complete aesthetic overhaul. This is where that whole cleaner experience really gets put to the test, right out of the box. So what's cool here is how all these little things come together. You've got these softer, more modern-looking icons. The control center and your notifications have been cleaned up, so they're way easier to read at a glance. And I really like these real-time adaptive wallpapers. They actually shift their lighting based on the time of day, which makes the whole phone feel more alive. It all works together with these super smooth transitions when you're jumping between apps. So, the bottom line? Visually, this thing is a stunner. It looks and feels really modern, really premium, but, design is always personal. Some people might find this new minimal look a little too much like Apple's iOS. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's really up to you. All right, looks are one thing, but let's get under the hood and talk about what really matters, performance. This is all about Vivo's promise to be smoother. So how does it actually feel when you use it? And Vivo is not being shy about this. They're throwing out a big number, a 15% increase in how fast your apps open. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but in day-to-day use, that's the kind of difference you actually feel. It's that jump from a noticeable pause to an app just snapping open instantly. So how are they doing it? Well, the secret sauce is this new AI resource manager that's always working in the background. Think of it like a really smart traffic controller inside your phone, constantly shifting power between the CPU, the GPU, and your RAM, sending it exactly where it's needed most. And that's what gives you that much smoother multitasking and a more stable experience when you're gaming. But here's the reality check. For most people, especially if you've got a higher-end Vivo phone, this speed boost is definitely noticeable. It feels snappier. But, and this is important, if you're on a mid-range device, you might not see that huge of a jump. Your phone's hardware is still the boss here. Okay, we've covered cleaner and smoother, so let's hit that third promise, making the experience smarter. And this really comes down to an upgraded AI companion that's meant to be way more helpful. This is pretty cool. Instead of having to say really specific, robotic commands, the new AI understands more natural language. You can just say things like, "Show my last photo," and boom, it does it. What's even better, a lot of these commands now work offline, which is a huge win for when you're out and about without a great connection. So on the one hand, this is super handy for getting things done quickly, but, and this is a big but for a lot of people, right now it's only available in English and Chinese. So if you speak another language, you're not going to get the full benefit of these new smart features just yet. Okay, so beyond those big headliners, OriginOS 6 also has a bunch of those little quality of life tweaks. The small things that can actually make a big difference in how you use your phone every day. Let's check out a couple. Let's break down two big ones, battery and camera. On the battery front, the power management is better, which should mean your phone lasts a bit longer. The only catch is, we'll have to see how that holds up over the long term. For the camera, the app itself feels cleaner and it's faster to switch between modes. But, and I gotta be clear about this, it doesn't mean your photos will look any better. This is a software layout upgrade, not an image quality upgrade. And it doesn't stop there. There are a few other goodies packed in. You get a new privacy dashboard that shows you exactly what your apps have permission to do. Vivo is also promising that future updates will arrive faster with this new setup. And finally, you get better widget support for your home screen, so you have more ways to customize it. So after looking at the new design, the speed boosts, the smarter AI, and all the little daily improvements, let's circle back to that original question. What's the final call? Should you upgrade? So here's the bottom line. OriginOS 6 is a really solid update. It pretty much delivers on making the experience cleaner, smoother, and smarter. It's not some crazy revolution, but it is a really well thought out, polished evolution of what they had before. So who should be hitting that update button right now? Well, If your phone can get the update and you're excited for that fresh, modern design and a snappier feel, then yeah, go for it. It's for you. On the other hand, if you're totally fine with how OriginOS 5 works now and you aren't really looking for a big change, there's no major rush. It's a nice improvement for sure, but maybe not an essential one.
So, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. Now that you've seen the pros, the cons, and what's really new under the hood, what's your call? Are you going to upgrade or are you going to stick with what you've got?